Hello, everybody. We will start in a minute or so. My name is Elisabetta Bomna-Niger, or Betty. And so we go. Good evening. Hello, everybody. I like to ask everybody that you stop writing into the chat because now Stefano posted a link for donations. He asks for donations, even as small as €1. We are now using the Zoom that can hold 1,000 participants, as far as I understand. And in order so that everybody could join, so that more than 1,000 people could join us live and not be waiting for a recording, there is and so that our joint control could be more effective and efficient, we need to buy Zoom access for more than 1,000 people. And it is therefore that the foundation therefore needs more funds so that the Zoom could be paid for more participants. The link was posted in chat, so please do not write in chats. We ask you kindly to give your contributions, donations, so that the foundation could pay the expenses. Any help is we need. We are very thankful for any help that you can give, even if this is €1 or €2. And here is the link again. Please do not write into the chat. Please do not write into the chat. Of course, this is needed so that the work of everybody who is doing the control would be even more efficient. As it now, there is only the foundation paying for all the expenses, and every work is done for free. The translators, we are working for free without a charge. Everybody is working for free, but there are expenses for paying the Zoom. Please do not write into the webinar chat as of now. These funds will be used exclusively to pay for the Zoom Access platform that will enable more people to join us simultaneously during our live control. This is also a question for everybody because we are working for the protection of the whole world. So this is also one way that we can help to protect the world by enable more people to do the macro salvation. Whether there are more people, when there are more people joining us in the joint control, the efficiency of the control is, of course, much stronger for every participant, also for each one of us. There is also during the joint control, there is a special collective system that is being built during the joint work that helps everybody, including each and every one of us. This special form that is called the collectively developed system was explained by Grigory Grabovoi in his seminar, the collective system. And this this is very thankful. This link for donations will be sent by email to everybody who is present here and left his email. And because there's information that the link doesn't work as it now. I would also like to add that we will do the joint control for approximately 45 minutes. If the time, if we will have time, there will be also a possibility to answer to some short questions, which you can write either to chat, either to the question and answer section. I kindly ask you to refrain with your questions to the theme on hand, the one that we will work upon tonight, and not general questions. So that the answer will be useful for all participants. I say it again. This will be in the case that we will have, there will be time. I once again, we have to start recording. Recording is on. Okay. Today is our second time for our joint macro control. And I greet you with this second meeting. When there is the second action after the first action, there the creator already think about that as a work well done. This is not just an action that is done during this collective control, but this is a macro action for control and macro control in itself. When a person is thinking one thought, there in this thought there is already a part of the next thought, and when a person thinks about the next thought, the God, the creator, already gives to that person an eternal life and eternal development. We will use the technologies of life, and to be able to do this control and practical exercise, we have to you have to highlight for yourself the reason, the life as such, so that you will be able to understand what life as such is. We do not talk about now about the concept of activity or daily life, but about the life as such, about life as such. Now we don't need to think about the factors or aspects or the reality of life. all we have to do is to highlight the life as such for our consciousness, so that our consciousness will start to think about it. This you can do very easily. You just need to look at the parameter of the word life. The parameter that we are talking about is as follows. We simply need to perceive the word that corresponds to something that is in reality, life. And inside all of the status that are there in a life and that are reasonable, inside those statuses of life, there are a certain number of principles that are reasonable, and we will start to look at them now. For an adult person, it is very easy to highlight this status that we are now talking about. If we look how a child perceives the life, a child perceives life as inflowing flow of life. And for a child, this is the life itself. And we can consider this in such a way as a child does, that this inflowing life is the real life as perceived and existing in the reality as such. And this inflow of life into the body of a person then embodies inside the person's body and gives life to a person. And for a child, the same inflow of life is seen also as an outgoing flow And a child, all children can see this. So this outgoing flow, they can see it as a life form, as a form of life itself. Therefore, we can observe the children are always in the move. They are running more than walking most of the time. This is because they are able to sense this life. And while for a child, this outflow of life is very natural, for adults, this is very hard to perceive. And this complexity that as it is perceived is also for an adult not such a big problem. Also, adults can understand and perceive the flow of life in a different way, similar to the way the child is considering. And this was explained by Grigory Grabovoi very well in his author's seminar, The Teachings of Grigory Grabovoi About Life. I gave you this information so that in the next step, you will be able to consider the next status of life, the life itself as such. This flow of life, as an adult perceives it, is more like a pressure, like an atmospheric pressure, similar to atmospheric pressure. This is connected as if to perceive this as a kind of pressure, not as a pressure itself, but as a kind of pressure. And this is a status of an external world that is outside of a person. This so-called atmospheric pressure is becoming more and more sensitive with age. And while a person with age starts to perceive this so-called outside life, and one starts to perceive it more and more as a greater and greater pressure. And this can, of course, be a problem. Therefore, it is very, very important that we perceive the flow of life from the outer worlds really as coming from the great outer worlds that are very vast. And if we consider this visually or from the optical perspective, we can see this really as an inflow of life from really vast outside worlds. Here we are talking about the external life of external worlds. You can consider this as a worlds, as a galaxies. This we can consider, according to an analogy, as the Titans from the Greek mythologies. They uh, held the world on their shoulders. Here we can use the world a heavy system, or the world as if a heavy system. Because we have to consider the external worlds also as an external life on planets or stars or universe that we consider as being an outside world from our world here on Earth, and that there can be also some kind of life there. We, of course, can consider life in many different ways. We can consider that there are life forms such as human or something that is similar to a human, so-called alien life forms. But we know that everything in universe, everything in reality is alive, even to the smallest sand. And we have to consider this as a very small. We have to consider every or any object as alive, even the smallest grain of sand or the biggest galaxy or a big star. Everything is an element of the reality, and everything is alive. While we are talking about this interconnection that we have called the atmospheric pressure, This is not something that is very hard for a person. This is something that is very normal for a person. We live with it every day, all days, and we do not pay any attention to it because this is considered normal. Even if we consider that a person is going through reincarnations, one cannot become aware of that pressure if not paying attention to it or not know about it. That one does not have a knowledge that something like this exists. But now it is our task to be able to highlight this atmospheric pressure so that we will be able to more precisely understand what we are talking about. What we have called an atmospheric pressure is actually an external life that is kind of forming, or it is itself a phenomenon that is a form at the same time that we can call it a status. And this can be perceived, of course, by our feelings and by our sensations, but this is an area that is real and we can perceive it, and it is considered to be what we call a status of life, a specific status of life. We know that a person have a life status that is also vivid in the form of a human body. And but this is not just a form of a human body, this is also a status and at the same time a form of life. While I am talking about the status, I want to point out that this is a status that is the same as for an adult as well as for a small child, but with the difference that a small child does not feel this like something strange or unnatural, but for a small child, this is just one's natural position. So this work that we will now do is not just any control, but it is consistent with the will of a spirit of the creator itself. And here we can also say that the will is not that not only the creator has his own will, but that also his structures has its own will. In this case, also his spirit. And here we need to point out that the life itself as such is cooperating with everything that is present in the reality, also with the spirit, namely the spirit of a person, as well as with the spirit of God. Of course, people can have a different lifestyle. They can eat different food. They can exercise in a different way, but they will never change the form of a human body, of a human as a person. No matter what somebody does, the form of the body, of a human body, will remain the same at all times. How is this connected to what we called the macro control that contributes to the uh, to the salvation of a world? If we can, we can consider in this aspect. It is in detail explained in the author's seminar by Grigory Grabovoi called The Principle of Universality. And there it is explained that our internal organs inside our physical body are also taking part in enabling the human body, the form of a human body as it is. And here we need to point out that the shape of a human body is one of manifestations of a person as such. This is not just a body, but it is a body shape, the form or shape of a body. And while being and having the shape of a human body as it is now, this is also life of a person, and at the same time, this also is a sign of eternal development. even if a person is not very active and the shape of his body is not a kind of what we would call ideal, there is an activity anyhow in any way, and such as an activity is, it is enough that enables a person an eternal development. I want to add here that the consequence of the development of a shape of a human body is not an element that is only shaping the body, but it's also an element that realizes the life. And in this, from this viewpoint, also development, including the eternal development. And as we have said, that also the life of the outside world is also taking part in shaping the forms of life as such. This means that outside worlds are also taking part in the shape that everybody has and everything has here on Earth, be it a cat, a dog, a monkey, a horse, or anything else. Here we can understand why the Creator created a person on the sixth day of creation. This is the last day of creation. In order that a person, a human being, could be created as a perfect form, as a very as the ultimate perfect form, all other forms of life needed to be created before the person, so that at every volumes of information that the human will be interacting with had to be created before. And we have to point out here that the forms that certain animals or plants or even people has, they also help to form the whole reality as such. Once we become aware of the fact of the fact of life, of this fact of life, that outer worlds help to form the form of life here on Earth, and This can be therefore considered that this helps and enables the existing of Earth as such, the form of Earth, or the form of lives on Earth, and it also prevents cataclysms, such as a falling of a meteorite onto the Earth, or other cataclysms that may occur on Earth, like earthquakes, volcano eruptions, and so on. Here we also have to take into consideration the other forms, such as viruses. These are also forms of life, and therefore the outer worlds are also taking part in forming the form or the status of any viruses that are present. And while we are not being aware of the status or of the law, how the form of any life being is formed, we, by not being aware of this, we co-form those viruses and we support the viruses to be alive. And therefore, we have to be really careful what we are thinking about and what we are supporting. A healthy person is always very stable and supports stable and healthy life forms, lifestyle. A person who is healthy is not aggressive and does not support aggression inside the world or inside the earth or inside one's own environment. And therefore, it is very important for a human that one is become aware of those fundamental levels of life, such as the Creator created it. Because by this, every person is also supporting the true fundamental level of a healthy and harmonious life for himself, oneself, and everybody. Therefore, in this joint control, you can use this thinking and awareness that you control for a very wide plane. And you can also work for harmonization of any actual or running situation, any. Be this a current ecological situation, Speed is the guarantee the stability of Earth so that people could live happily and uh, harmoniously on any part of Earth, including the social processes on Earth that we are talking about very often. While you will be perceiving in the correct way the body shape of a human body, this will help you and also enable you to perceive the world around you, the life on Earth in the right form. This is ecological stability, health, and we are doing this right now. And this is a very strong control. This is also supported by the number of participants that is around 1,000. And the participants are coming from all around the world. And therefore, we are now protecting life on Earth. And this is what it is our task. This is, of course, the status that we need to support also, but here we are at the point that we have to decide that we have decided that we will support this consciously, being aware of it. Therefore, we could consider this as enabling the eternity to be part of Earth. And thus we are giving the eternity to everybody, to the whole Earth, to every person, to everybody alive. Now we will do the control. Pay the attention to your physical body, feel it. And try to feel something special that is a sign that your body is sending to you. Try to feel the body as a whole. Observe your breathing. Do not just be aware that you are breathing, but try to really feel the breathing. By this, you will become more aware of your physical body, and you will be able to develop your senses. And now try to observe the energy flow that are flowing vertically inside your physical body. You just put this upon yourself as a task. Do not think about it. You do not make it up. Just feel it. Relax and feel it. By only becoming aware of energy flows in one direction, you will be able to harmonize all energy flows that are flowing in any direction. Pay attention now to the sphere, to the region where your feelings are present. This may be inside your thorax or in front of you. You can easily switch from one task to another. You were observing your energies, now you're observing the regions where are your feelings. Now, with your perception, and a part of your consciousness, now enter the space of your thinking. This is most easily felt around your head. And just by entering in this space, you will also feel that all energy, that all processes of your thinking will become faster, will start to roll faster. Now, kind of go into the infinity of your space of thinking. You kind of slide into the infinity of your space of thinking and observe what you feel. Perhaps you will feel that your sensibility has grown, enlarged. You will be more aware of your soul. You will be more aware of the interconnection with your soul, of the connection between the soul and your consciousness. You just relax and feel it. For some seconds, just observe and feel. Once again, pay attention to your physical body. And feel how your physical body consolidates upon itself all structures of your personality. Again, once again, confirm that you are completely aware of yourself. You feel your body and you are well aware that you are alive. Now try to think why I am alive. What gives you the opportunity to live right now? And one of the answers will be because there is such a phenomena that we call life. And now try to think deeply into the word life. Try to think about the parameters of the word life. What can you feel? What can you perceive? And you will become aware that this word is opening you the true perception of its true meaning. If the life was real for you, something that is, and it is real, think of now that you have your own life. And besides the existence of your own life, there exists also the life of the outside worlds. Those worlds are very vast and many. Not just by number, but that there are vast volumes of outer worlds, and there are a vast volume and number of different life forms inside those outer worlds. And you will feel this interconnection as a very light pressure, really light. This pressure does not come from worlds as such, but from life on those worlds. And you will become aware that there is something that we can call a support system. This life on the outside worlds is a support system for us, people, Earth, everything that lives on Earth. And the perception of this can be very soft, but very strong at the same time, very vivid. You perhaps will be able to feel this in such a way that you will level out your spine. Or you will become more aware of the true position of your spine and your body, and you will perhaps feel that now you have started to breathe in a perfect and correct manner, like for the first time in reality. Perhaps your eyesight will become better. Perhaps your thinking will become easier. Your physical body is also taking part in the process of thinking. And become aware that the physical shape of your physical body is such as God, the Creator, thought about it. You can now think of the way that sugar is being used inside your body. You can pay attention to the intercellular exchange of sugar, of microelements, of iron and other elements. Right now, you can feel, and this is real, that your health is becoming better, that the health of your skin is better, that the health of your eyes is better, that your breathing is lighter. And really confine on your feelings. Trust what is going on, trust your feelings. And you may feel this also as joy that will now be that now you will become aware of. Perhaps you will feel something that we can call joy of your heart, joy of your brain. You can understand not only that you are alive, but also that you are developing. And this development is a part of your life. And at the same time of your regeneration. Pay attention to the shape of your body. And you will perceive how your body shape is supporting your development, and at the same time support and enables your development. And you will become aware and you will understand that if this is the development, you can develop in this way for your entire life and for the whole eternity. And now you can extrapolate this to the outside worlds and you become aware that these outside worlds are shaping the form of the body of everything alive on Earth and on outside worlds. Not only on Earth as such, but as we have said, on all the outside worlds, because there are also forms of life everywhere. If you could feel that the world became softer in contact, more stable in this softness, the world exists and it gives the opportunity to everybody to live. And you can understand that by this you are stabilizing the life on Earth as well as life on outer space, as well of life of the whole space that is the cosmos itself. And from the viewpoint of all the tasks that are upon the life as such, you may become aware that life has become more harmonious on Earth as well as on other planets, on other galaxies and stars. Sometimes we understand that life can uh, uh, take a different form, but by perceiving the life as we are perceiving it now, we are guaranteeing this form of life to every life, thing, or person, or mm, um, any form of life anywhere, including your dog or your cat or other animal. To everything that lives on Earth, on continents, everything that lives in rivers, oceans, seas. Perhaps you will be able to feel the life as such as a life of harmony. Observe this for 1 minute. Observe that life will never observe how life will never disappear. Life is present and will be present for whole eternity. and the life forms will be present for whole eternity. And this is enabled by the outer life coming from the outer worlds. Feel how this outer life from outer worlds are enabling life for you. No, wherever you live on Earth, on any continent. They give life because they just live for themselves. Same as you are doing for everybody else. But do this by awareness that there is an external life from Earth. Observe this for another minute. This is the status of life as the form of all phenomena that there exists. In accordance with the will of the Spirit of the Creator. Therefore, you are also now working in accordance and according to the will of the Spirit of the Creator. This is very clear. It is not only God with you, but there are also you with God. God feels and knows that you are with Him. Perceive now the whole reality the way that you have perceived it, and consider it as developing further. On this, we will now end our joint concentration. Thank you very much for joint work. This is the end of our work for today. And we much.